Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here. What I got for you today is a review of the new Helic Max Sky Vampire. Now, look at the Sky Vampire and tell me what you think. This is obviously somewhat of a clone of a very popular quadcopter, the Tarantula. In fact, I believe some of these parts may be interchangeable, may not. I don't know. These props look very similar. I opened up the pods here for the motors. These motors are V262 style motors. They are not plug-in. I don't think they are plug-in. I tried to pull the wires, and I did not see any simple way to remove the wires, so I don't think they're plug-in. So if you do need to replace them, you could use Tarantula motors or V262, V666 motors, but you will need to solder the wires on top during replacement. Because, of course, that will become an issue as with the Tarantula. You need to replace motors on these big, larger brush quadcopters every once in a while. Overall, it does have ability for cameras. Obviously, I believe it's Wi-Fi and regular camera in the future here, options that they're going to include with this quadcopter. This one here is a bare bones Sky Vampire without the quadcopter, but it does have future capabilities for including cameras onto this quadcopter. Other things about it, it comes with the prop guards, you know, the Tarantula prop guards, but as with the Tarantula, this flies best without those prop guards. The Tarantula is a very maneuverable quadcopter, and that's what I want to see about the Sky Vampire, if this also is similarly maneuverable to the Tarantula. But there's one very special thing that this has that the Tarantula does not have, and that is altitude hold. Okay, supposedly this has altitude hold. We're going to try it out today, folks. You supposedly activate it by pressing this button here. I'm going to try it. Let me go over the transmitter before we go into the flight here. There are no shoulder buttons for this, so flips are actually controlled by this button here, and changing the rates from beginner, intermediate, expert is controlled by this button here. It does have headless mode, which you press that button there, and one key return, which you activate by pressing that button there, and altitude hold, which you activate by pressing this center button here. It does have camera control, which you would activate by pressing up or down on the what would normally be the throttle trim button. And the other trim buttons are trim buttons. So overall, let's go for a flight of this thing, get right into it. And it has an on-off switch right there. Let me put it on a relatively flat and level surface. I want to see if this thing actually will do an automatic takeoff or if you have to set the altitude hold yourself. Let me find out, folks. Pressing this altitude hold button. Oh, first you got to bind it with a quadcopter, obviously. and you have to wait for the second beep after you do the up-down before this is bound. Okay, sounds like a Tarantula. You can tell this V262 motor's for a long distance. Let's press this altitude hold and see if it does anything on the ground. No, obviously, I guess you got to go into the air. So let me turn it off. Let's go up into the air and press altitude hold. The lights seem to be blinking. And the throttle becomes inoperative in altitude hold. Notice I'm going up and down, nothing's happening. But it is maintaining altitude, making this a very easy flyer for beginners, obviously. That's cool. You don't have to worry about altitude. Now I got a breeze starting to come from my right here, and when the breeze hit the quadcopter, I noticed it drops a little because it's using a barometric sensor. Cool. Altitude hold. Okay, let's see. I don't think there's any way to adjust that altitude hold. Let's turn it off. Let's see if it comes out of it. You know why I did that, folks? Because I had a lot of throttle on it when I turned off the altitude hold. So you need to be very careful when you turn the altitude hold on and off again. Let me show you what I meant. Altitude hold on. Okay, right now the throttle's inoperative. So when you turn off the altitude hold, it's going to be using whatever throttle input is on at the time. Right now I have hardly any throttle. Watch what happens. Well, that time, that seems to be the perfect throttle setting. Let's turn it on again. Altitude hold is on again. Okay, now look, I got throttle increased. Watch what happens now. Turning off altitude hold, and it accelerates because it's finally taking that throttle input. So you have to be very careful when coming out of altitude hold. Okay, people are going to want to see flips. I'm only going to do like 1 or 2 because it's a brush motor quadcopter, and it does flips very well. Okay, maybe 1 more for you folks out there. I'm also increasing the rate. It flies just like a tarantula. Okay, is there an expert rate? Yes, there is. Is there 4? There's 3 rates. Let's see what this one can do. This is the yaw expert rate. Not super fast. Okay. Yeah. So this is the yaw is kind of slow at expert. Let me try intermediate. I haven't tried intermediate yet. Intermediate rate. Seems very similar to expert. It just doesn't have the same amount of pitch. How about beginner? Okay, beginner rate. The yaw does not seem to change between the two. Let's bring it in close and show you that. We're in beginner, full yaw. Intermediate, expert. Yaw does not change. Beginner, intermediate, expert. Just the pitch. Now, the tarantula is famous for its range. But before I go out and do any range test, I want to try one thing here before I even attempt to do that. I am going to do a loss of signal test. And to do such, I'm going to turn off the quadcopter after I give it a little throttle here. Hold on. Throttle coming off. Now. 1, 2, 3, about 3 seconds. Not bad. Okay. Let's point it in the direction of Owens Peak there to be our, I haven't demonstrated 1 key return in headless mode. So what I'm going to do is we are going to point it in the direction of Owens Peak there. That'll be our headless mode bearing. You gotta wait for the second beep after you do the up and down. We're gonna go up, put it in an altitude hold, set it toward Owens Peak, and do a 1 key return from over there. We'll go up to about that altitude there. Altitude hold is on, making this very easy to fly. Let's turn on headless mode too, making it super easy to fly. Going off into the distance there, and pressing 1 key return. All right, a minute, before I do that, I gotta come out of altitude hold. I gotta go up a little bit higher. Right there. Now pressing 1 key return. Does it very slowly. Is it even doing it? Headless mode off. Yeah, I guess it's doing it. Okay, I'm coming back over here. I'm going to a higher rate too, folks. Maybe that's the problem. I was in a low rate. I want to press the 1 key return right there and see what happens. Very slow 1 key return. Maybe it's because I'm in altitude hold. Let's go over there and try 1 key return again. 1 key return. Okay. One key return does not seem to work in altitude hold mode, folks. Let's go over there again and manually adjust it. One key return, now it's working. So keep that in mind, folks. One key return does not work while in altitude hold. You have to be in manual flight for the one key return to work. Let's go over there again. One key return. And here it comes back again. So, well, it's good to know that. Overall, I haven't tried the range yet. Let me go up the road a bit. I'll take it out to about 100 meters. 100 meters is right there. I think the predicted range for this is 100 meters, but it seems to have pretty darn good range. I want to come a little lower too, so in case I do fly out of range, then it won't crash into the desert. But okay, I'm about 100, 150 now. So yeah, it's got good range, like the Tarantula. I don't know if it's got the full 300 meter range. I ain't going to do that because I don't have wind today to test it. But overall, it's a very good clone that has altitude hold, which the Tarantula does not. So that's a huge advantage over the Tarantula. Let me go back into altitude hold. Again, the throttle is inoperative while in altitude hold. This makes it very easy for beginner flyers to fly. This headless mode work in altitude hold because the one key return don't. Well, yeah, headless mode works with altitude hold. The one key return does not. So still, this makes it super easy for beginner flyers because all I need to do is go right, left, back, and forward. Don't matter which direction that nose is pointed. So this makes it super easy for beginner flyers. A Tarantula, that's super easy for beginners. I don't recommend flips. As with the Tarantula, I don't recommend flips because you will burn out motors by doing such. Pretty damn easy to fly, huh? No throttle control on it at all. It's maintaining that altitude all by itself. Very easy to fly. I like it. I like this one a lot. The only thing I don't like about it is you do need to, if you want to change out the motors, you are going to need to solder them. They're not plug-ins. That would have made this perfect. That would have gave this 5 out of 5 if I had that. But right now I'm giving it a Quadcopter 101 rating of 4 out of 5. Because the advanced technology of altitude hold being included on this, boy, it's super easy to fly in headless mode with this thing. With altitude hold. Super easy. Just about anybody can fly this. This is going to be a big seller, folks. Until the Tarantula, folks, JJRC figures out how to put altitude hold on theirs, because beginners are going to really love this. You know, combining headless mode with altitude hold, that is a fantastic combination for beginners. You fly it one-handed. Left, right, forward, left. Okay, coming out of headless mode. You know what would really be cool if they would got rid of the beep? Just maybe one beep to let you know you're in headless mode. Okay, coming out of altitude hold. That's my lights. Are they blinking yet? No, I still got power on this thing. Surprisingly. No lights, no LVC warning. So, you know, this would be a great camera bird. So, obviously, I need to put a camera on this and demonstrate it to you folks here in the near future. It needs a camera demonstration. I wonder if I still got power for flips. One more flip, just for the heck of it. Yeah, it does. Okay, no more flips though. I don't want to hurt those motors. Let me get a thumbnail. Evil looking thing with those red eyes. Oh, by the way, the lights on this are interesting, you know. You can't see the top at night though, but the top lights are what's interesting about it. But unfortunately they're hard to see because they're on the top. But it's orange eyes, glowing orange eyes. Pretty damn cool. Okay, I'm not going to fly it until the, well, I better fly it until the battery dies so you folks can see what kind of flight time you get with this. But it's flying for a good long time. Good long flyer. I'll pull out the battery after the flight here to show you what size battery it is, but it appears to be similar to the Tarantula motors. A little bit thicker, I believe, though, than the Tarantula. Maybe that's why I got so much power, flight time. Okay, lights are flashing. Bringing it in. I'm not going to wait until it crashes. There's the LVC warning. Okay, folks, let me show you that battery. Finally, before I turn this off. It's a JST connector, balance plug on it, great for the charging, important for charging. But it is a 7.4 volt, 1200 milliampere hour, 30C, 60/30/60. So I think that is similar to the Tarantula battery. In fact, I'm pretty sure the Tarantula battery would probably fit in there. So if you got Tarantula batteries, you probably can use them with this. Let me put that in there. So overall, that's the flight of the Sky Vampire with altitude hold. Altitude hold that works very well. Combine that with the headless mode. This is one heck of a good beginner's large quadcopter for once. Keep in mind it's a large quadcopter. You don't want to bounce into objects with this, and you will need to register with the FAA because this is over 250 grams. But a beginner could still fly this with those two things if they're careful. So, hope you enjoyed this flight. Quadcopter 101, signing out.